Hello, we would like to welcome you to the first stream of the STA Rocket League tournament. We are going to commence with our first game, IOV versus Cherubashki. Me and Hugo are now going to go into some analysis about the previous games they've played in the tournament and predictions for what will happen. So Hugo, how do you think IOV will do?
Well, IOV's team consists of Hydrosis and Sensei, both sharing very high tallies, both of them having 11 goals each, with Hydrosis having 5 assists, and Sensei having 1 strike and 3 assists.
For previous matches, they've swept both of their previous rounds against Duck Potatoes and Definity. They are top seed in the entire competition because of their previous matches that we've seen them play. And I'd say they're very likely to win the game.
You're correct judging by statistics, but you never know.
They but Hugo, I would like to remind you, they did look like a very solid team in the first 2 rounds. They played well as a team. They had some great passing plays, and mechanically they are very well equipped. They can play really well as a team. And I think mechanically they also are very consistent, and I don't think they'll mess up this time.
You're very right, Simon.
What about Cherubashki?
Cherubashki consists of Pyro and Scoot. They both also have very impressive stats, with Pyro having 5 goals, 2 assists, and 1 save, and Scoot having 6 goals, 1 assist, and 0 saves. This isn't as big of a number as Hydrosis and Sensei have, but still a very impressive tally this early in the tournament.
They, like IOV, have swept both rounds so far, but they are 8th seeded. And I'd say chances are against them. They don't look that consistent mechanically and just generally don't look that great. They play a quite common play style. They play very hybrid. They both defend and attack when necessary. They're okay at keeping up offensive pressure, but it's nothing like other teams that we'll see today. But sometimes they have some problems with their rotation. And let's hope that it's a fun game. So we are still gonna wait on the players to join the lobby. We are going to now actually do a bit more talking. So Hugo, personally, who do you think will win? Do you think the underdogs will win, or will IOV just come out and dominate Cherubashki?
Well, we haven't seen too much of either team. We have seen a very good example of what they can do, but you never really know because it's Rocket League, of course. It's a very explosive game, very fast-paced. So anything can really happen this time. And now, I want to tip Cherubashki to win this game, mainly because, you know, they're an underdog team. They seem to, despite what Simon says, play all right together. A lower tally, but they can add more to them this game.
So far, we're waiting on the IOV team to join the lobby. We have 3 players in, waiting on the last person, then we can commence with the game. This is DFH Stadium, our first game. Our first game is on DFH Stadium, quite a nice map. Do you not think so?
Very standard, very simple, perfect, no distractions.
And we are into our first game.
5 minutes to go. We start off with Sensei and Pyro on the kickoff.
Sensei already dishing out a demo on Pyro. Hydros is now in the corner. Another demo.
Sensei now driving the ball up the pitch slowly and carefully as Scoot knocks it away from his hand.
I think we might be experiencing some technical difficulties currently. We will resume soon. There are some technical difficulties. Please wait until we've sorted them out, then we'll get back into the game.
Issues with the settings.
We've had some issues with the settings on this computer. Hopefully that will change soon and everything will be back to normal. We are again in the lobby. Let's wait for this to and we can go back into the game.
Right after that technical difficulty, we're now back on the kickoff with Pyro and Sensei knocking the ball. The ball is now in the orange half. Scoot missing the ball with Sensei driving it a bit further down their corner.
It's now in Orange's corner, and Sensei will easy goal for IOV. I don't know what Orange was doing in the corner there. They just couldn't control possession there, and Sensei got an easy goal out of it.
Very good start for Blue. Now we're back on the kickoff.
That was only 13 seconds of the game yet, and it's looking very strong for IOV.
They clash as a very big opening is on for Blue. Hydros is doing the very smart thing and staying a few distances back.
But he does miss the ball, and that might cost them, but Orange doesn't manage to capitalize on that at all. Sensei now trying to get a pass mid, but he doesn't have any boost, so he can't follow up, and IOV double committing there. That might cause them if they play against a team that can maintain offensive pressure more. Now in the corner, can Orange get this? No, they can't. Hydrosis manages to just barely get it out from the goal.
Very tight gap there. With Sensei now striking at the goal, missing because Scoot saved.
If we look at just IOV, how they play so far, they've had a lot of double commits where both teammates go for the same ball. Once this gets closer, if this does get closer, that might cause them, because if one hits the ball, then the other will be completely out of position and won't be able to make a save or a pass that might be necessary for them to not be scored on.
You're right, this may be an issue to do with communication or just lack of knowledge on how to play the game.
Cherubashki now equalizing on 3 minutes 34. Pyro with a nice flick, taking Hydrosis out of the game there.
Set back up for the kickoff, 3-3-4, and seems like both of them struggling there with communication.
Sensei being able to get that ball up. I'd also like to make it known to your attention that both Sensei and Hydrosis have so far been seen playing playing without boost quite often. Like now, Hydrosis, even though he barely, Sensei even managed to get that in. If that was a proper save, Hydrosis would be completely out of the game in net because he had 0 boost there. This is very dangerous, and this is something that they might have to fix in future rounds if they do get through, because simply playing on 0 boost isn't going to cut it in higher games, in better games.
With the kickoff, the ball is now in the orange corner. 3-2-1 even. Might make it 3-1. Blue struggling in the corner as Pyro makes the break towards goal. Looks like, right, 2-2 it is. Now we see a quick replay of the goal here. Pyro getting a very lucky touch on the ball, leading to a very major goal that equalizes them.
So we see it's exactly 3 minutes basically. It's equalized, but I think Hydrosis might be able to get that there. No, Pyro with a big save there, keeping his team in the game. Again, Hydrosis, 0 boost. Can we see what Sensei's No, Sensei manages to get the boost and secure that goal. It is 3-2 now with 2 minutes 40 to go.
Sensei with a hat-trick so far in this game.
This was actually a very nice takeover of the ball there by Sensei. He managed to get it past the orange defender and then get into the corner and then knock it into the goal from there.
Back on the kickoff, seems to be that the ball is pretty still. Oh, miscommunication there from the orange team. The ball is now in the blue corner. Blue now have a break, it seems, with orange sort of fumbling, leading to an eventual goal, making it 4-2 to blue.
This is just the first game. These series are going to be best of 3, meaning that the first team to win 2 games actually progresses through the tournament bracket. But simply a win now is going to do a big thing for them, because if they manage to sweep their first opponents, that will do so much for their morale.
Speaking of morale here, it could be raised if Orange manages to score this goal, with Pyro getting the final touch on the ball. That brings them to 4-3, with Pyro getting the hat-trick even.
That was very nice there. He managed to beat Aaron to the ball since he was trying to go for an aerial, but I think he just... inconsistent mechanics there from him. It's quite disappointing to see. Sensei now cheating up to mid-boost. I think that's going directly into the net.
Oh!
Oh, what? Pyro, with a very lucky goal.
Very sloppy
manages
play.
to equalize. That's very, very sloppy play by Blue. I don't know why Sensei was cheating up and then just went to get boost there. But then again, it was a very unlucky bounce.
That goal now ties us the game with Sensei and Pyro on the kickoff. Sensei getting the advantage right there, but Scoot does scoop up the ball, brings it back into the middle. Hydrosis missing the ball and tracking back to hopefully defend.
Sensei managing to get that 50-50 nicely there. It's now in the orange half, but Sensei again on 0 boost, managing to get that boost there. And Orange misses a big aerial, but luckily Pyro can make up for Scoot's mistake there. Sensei with another very nice 50-50 there in the corner. Hydrosis might try and play this in the corner, but no. There, see again, that was just simply sloppy rotation there. Instead of trying to get the ball, at that point you should have just retreated. Very dangerous play across the pitch now, but it is manageable for Blue because they do have okay mechanics as we've seen. Let's hope they can keep up, be a bit more consistent.
The ball now in the blue half of the pitch, the blue third even, with Orange setting up a chance for their teammate. Pyro picking up his own ball. However, tracking back now as Blue does pick up the ball from the middle.
And can Hydrosis score? Yes, he can. 5-4 for IOV with 1 minute to go. This is now going to be a story whether Cherubashka can come back and maybe not get completely discarded this game. If IOV scores another goal, I think it's that's it. It's their game. But we do have to see because it's 2v2. It's Rocket League. Anything can happen.
Correct now. As Orange does drive down blue corner. The ball is now brought back towards Blue's goal. Oh! Pyro with another goal, bringing it back to 5-5. At this stage, we can see the game going into overtime. Oh, a very good attempt at making a save from Blue. However, it's not enough to cut it. We're back on the kickoff now. 40 seconds to go. Can we see another goal, or will this game go to overtime?
Sensei managing to get a fair rule 50-50 for the kickoff. Scoot missing that on the wall. Can Sensei pass this middle? No, Hydrosis misses the ball there.
Major miscommunication there from Blue team.
Hydrosis trying to pressure this ball. Sensei with a big miss there, but Hydrosis manages to make up for his teammate's mistake there. Again, 0 boost plays by Sensei, and Hydrosis isn't at mid to be able to capitalize on this. These are some sloppy mechanics from IOV that they just don't seem.
Oh, down to the dying seconds here.
Oh, overtime.
Now that we're into overtime, anything can happen here. First goal wins them the first match of the series.
Sensei trying to get that save. Pyro being able to hit that, but Hydrosis hits it into the corner. Can he get a fast pass across middle? No, he can't. Sensei trying to follow that up. Manages to get boost in the process. Hydrosis passing it up on the wall.
Sensei and Hydrosis fumbling with the ball here. Double committing even. This can be very strategy when Orange do take the ball from them, if that happens.
Pyro trying to maybe clear this. Controls the ball. A bit too high for Hydrosis. I don't think he had enough boost to actually go for that. Pyro now rotating out. Can Blue make this happen? Sensei coming in. No, misses.
Oh.
Hydrosis. Can he flick that across the net? Hydrosis with the goal in overtime. We've only played for a minute of overtime, but Hydrosis managed to get that very nice flick there, so no Orange defender could actually do it. Get to it.
This brings them to the second hat-trick now. 6-5 is the score of the game, with Hydrosis and Sensei taking home a hat-trick between them. Very high goal result. As we can see, only 3 saves were made in Orange's team, and only 1 save was made in Blue's team, made by Sensei. Hydrosis getting the man of the match. I think personally is very well deserved, with 3 goals, 2 assists, with only 5 shots, giving him very high goal percentage.
We will be going into the next match very soon, in roughly 20 seconds, once the competitors have a time to cool off after this thrilling overtime match. It is now, we'd like to remind you, 1-0 to IOV on games. If they win this game, they are through to the next round. We're gonna get into the game very shortly. We are in the lobby now, waiting for the competitors to join the game. And we are into the game. So, you go. Did IOV look like they had the game there, or was it a shaky performance to say the least there?
I'd say
Pyro, inactive there, not going for the kickoff. Are there some? Nope. Pyro's now in the game. Good to see that there are no technical difficulties there. It was just, I assume, a fake kickoff attempt by Orange. Scoot flicking it up. Hydrosis may be able to get into the ball. Nice bump, but he doesn't have any boost to follow up. Since they can maybe hit this into mid, he does.
Scoot taking the ball and driving it towards blue goal. The ball is now in the corner. Very dead ball, in fact, with Pyro tracking back to defend. Oh. Attempt at a bicycle kick leads to Scoot having to defend for himself.
50-50 challenge there. Very, very much in favor of blue. Hydrosis not being able to make the clear, and Orange scores.
Pyro with a very good shot there.
That was good consistency there. That was just well placed. Sensei was out of the game, and that's again what I talk. Sometimes IOV does have these problems with the rotations. They just sometimes aren't able to rotate well enough to actually be able to save those. Scoot now is cheating up on Pyro. Pyro may be able to get this play, but no, he doesn't. Hydrosis being able to center it. Nice flick there by Sensei, but with 0 boost, there's not much he can do. Now off the wall, Hydrosis maybe.
Very sloppy play here, as we can see. Sensei is running circles around the ball. Scoot now driving it towards blue's goal.
Hydrosis with a clear there into the corner. Sounds very good, but I don't think he has any boost actually. He can't really do anything here.
Ooh, nearly a goal for Hydrosis there, with Scoot coming in with a very big save, 50-50. A pass from Pyro to Scoot leads to a clear to midway, which eventually goes into blue's half.
Hydrosis not being able to rotate well there. And that's an empty net, but no, Sensei with a clutch save there. He just managed to get in front of goal. And a wall hit there. Is that going towards net? No, it isn't.
Attack.
But can anyone of IOV...
off
the crossbar. What is happening here?
Big mistake for blue.
IOV now trying to retain possession, but Pyro manages to clear. Hydrosis misses the ball there. Orange with another goal.
Second goal.
This is what we saw last game. They managed to get momentum in their favor, but were just barely defeated in overtime. I'd have to say Orange is playing much better mechanically this game. They manage to hit the ball each time they go for it, and they are able to place it better. IOV struggling in rotation.
With the momentum now in Orange's favor, can Scoot get a 3rd goal, in fact? Or Pyro getting a Hydrosis making a very clutch save. Bring the ball back into the middle, setting up for Pyro. Pyro does fumble, however, and Sensei puts Hydrosis on the break.
Hydrosis manages to score that goal with 2 minutes 30 left.
That brings us to 2-1 in favor of Orange. Back on the kickoff, can we see a change in momentum in favor of blue? Sensei striking the ball towards goal.
But just barely away, and now that bounce is quite awkward for them. It's right off the back wall. But orange manages to clear. Can blue maybe retain offensive pressure as we talked about last time? Pass right into mid. And Hydrosis with the second goal of the game for him. Out of 2 shots, he has 100% a score ratio now. That was a very nice pass from Scoot, but sadly it was to the wrong teammate. If Pyro was in goal, that could have been a very nice clear. But Scoot wasn't there.
Now it's only a matter of who can get the first hat-trick between Hydrosis and Scoot.
Sensei. Nice pass from Hydrosis, but Sensei misses that. Bump coming out from Hydrosis. Sensei. Maybe trying to get boost because he clearly doesn't have any boost.
A little bit of downtime as everyone sets up.
Hydrosis now turning away. Where's Sensei? I can't see him anywhere on the pitch. Hydrosis off the backboard again. What is this gameplay?
It's like basketball, off the backboard again and again.
This time, however, this isn't basketball, so you can't really score from the backboard. Speak louder.
Orange crossing the ball.
Orange crossing the ball, and that's going in. Orange winning.
Well, that goal doesn't land Scoot with a hat-trick, but Pyro does get his first goal of this game, bringing them to 3-2 in favor of Orange.
We only have 1:30, and like last time, can we see now the roles reversed? Can IOV actually equalize now? This is going to be incredibly interesting. Pyro passing up on the backboard. Pyro missing.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Scoot not managing to get that save. Equalization there by Sensei.
Back on the kickoff. 3-3. In fact, 1:20 to go.
I'd like to just talk about how aggressive the other Orange player is, at least on kickoffs. Have every single kickoff that's been in that position has had the back Orange player trying to cheat on the ball. I don't think that's the right strategy there, because these bounces from the kickoff are so random that cheating, you need to have insane reaction times to even be able to read that. And the roles have been reversed. Hydrosis scoring. And this means that if IOV manage to not concede, they are through to the next round. This has been a great game so far, don't you say? It's been all over the place. Orange winning, blue winning, orange winning. This has been amazing. If blue can keep this up for another 40 seconds, they'll be able to go through to the next round, to the semifinals, where they will be playing against the winner of Mad Dex versus the Mates. Blue passing mid. Oh, Scoot Pyro not being able to make that save, but luckily for him, it's good. Hydrosis, can he get this? No, Sensei with the tap in. 30 seconds to go. IOV winning by 2. I think this is now secured for IOV. They need to mess up abysmally to be able to lose this game.
You're right, Simon. I don't think there's a chance of the game going into overtime, but we may see a very surprise performance from Orange. Now, if blue do go and win this game, this will be the end of the series as they win with 2-0 clean sweep on Orange. Sensei now fumbling. Hydrosis tracking back, trying to push the ball away from the goal. Stalling time as there's only 5 seconds left on the clock. 4, 3, 2, 1.
And the game is over. Good job to IOV. They did manage to win this game, and I have to say, well played. They looked solid, at least, to say the least. Great game by them. Next game coming up soon. It is going to be Mad Dex versus the Mates. But before that, we'd like to have an interview with one of the players of IOV. Please give us a few minutes to set up the interview.
control quote.
You now join us for a post-match interview with Hydrosis, getting the man of the match for both games, actually. Hydrosis, do you have any comments on regarding your performance in the 2 games?
Well, I think we could have done a lot better since we only won by one or two goals each game.
Right. If the game were to go on for, say, if the series were to go on for another game, do you think you could have won?
Yeah, I think so. I think we could have won by looking how they played. They 100% they got better at the second game.
All right, indeed. Are there any opponents in this tournament that you're maybe feeling maybe a big challenge for you, or think might give you?
Yeah, I'm thinking Envy. They're on the other side of the bracket. Looks very scary to us. We've seen them play, and we played against them before, and every time we've lost. So we think it's going to be a challenge.
Do you see IOV going up against Envy in the finals?
I sure see that, 100%.
Well then, very well predicted. Thank you for your time, Hydrosis. It's been a very good game. Thank you.
So, Hugo. Fascinating game that was. IOV winning by 2-0, clean sweep. But I'd say some shaky display from IOV. You heard what Martin said, what Hydrosis said in the interview.
Well said, Simon. Also very well predicted. Like you said, IOV would take the game in a clean sweep even.
But now we'd like to move on to talking about the next game that's coming up, which is going to be Matt Dex, which is comprised of Matt and Dex, as is visible by the names, and the mates, who have Christie and Renegade on their roster. So let's start with Matt Dex. Hugo.
Let's delve into some stats here. Matt having 3 goals, 2 assists, and 4 saves. A very high tally for Matt there this early into the game. In fact, he has the highest saves per match so far in this tournament. Now moving on to Dex, he has 3 goals, 0 assists, and 3 saves. A very lone wolf, lone player, wouldn't you say, Simon?
Yes, the game they played to get into the quarterfinals was the closest game so far in the entire tournament. They won in the overtime of Game 3. It was a thrilling view. They won against Rocket Dynasty. They didn't play their first round match because of their opponents forfeited due to time constraints because they had to go home. The clutch goal in the overtime was scored by Matt after a really clean passing play. And they got through to the next round with each player only having 2 goals per match, as the team having 2 goals per match, which is incredibly low.
Now moving on to some stats on the mates. Christie having 4 goals, 2 assists, and no saves. However, this isn't necessary as he has a very impressive tally on his offensive output. Renegade having 5 goals, 3 assists, and 1 save, having the 3rd in points per match after IOV's partnership with Hydrosis and Sensei. Also a very impressive tally this early into the game. 5 goals is not very common in the preliminary rounds that we had. They do share a very even tally, actually, which is very good. This shows that they have good chemistry, both having tally of assists.
Hugo, I'd like to pick up from there. They've won both of their games, their series so far. They steamrolled the Phoenixes, getting quite a lot of goals. They won in 2 games. They didn't necessarily score the most goals, but they kept up offensive pressure throughout the whole game, and from there we can judge that they can very easily retain possession from if they need to. Renegade is 3rd in points per match after both members of IOV. This is logically because IOV managed to steamroll their weak opponents in round 1 and 2.
Now on to predictions. Simon, do you have any favorite for this game?
I'd say Mad Dex. They have the better experience when it comes to coming in clutch. They've won their last game really, really tightly in the overtime of Game 3, as I said before. They really showed up in that match. Mechanically they're okay. They're not great. They're not amazing, but they're consistent, and that's all you really need. They are also very well experienced. They've played before. They play very commonly together as a team, meaning that they will have superior communication to the mates, who, from what I've seen, don't communicate as much, meaning that we might see more double commits from their part.
Well, in my part, Simon, you do have a prediction, but just for no reason at all, I will vote for the mates. You know, like you said, Matt Dex do have very good chemistry. They do lack in some mechanical ability, but I just think the mates might take the series here. Let's say first game, very high goal tally. 10-9 to Matt Dex. I think Matt Dex will take the first game of the series, but we can see a comeback from the mates later in the series. But who knows? Matt Dex might sweep the whole series. Same goes for the mates. They do have a very impressive stat sheet so far. Both taking titles for very prestigious ranks, with Matt having highest saves and Renegade having 3rd highest points per match. We are soon gonna get this game underway with setting up
The game. And everything is good to go. Let's hope that this match is going to be as interesting as the last one. Hugo.
Off with the kickoff. Matt and Dex following, tailing behind each other, cheating, as you say. The ball now in Orange's corner. Can we see a sort of chance?
Nice control there by Renegade. Matt challenging that nicely, and Renegade being able to flick that. Christie being able to also get it up.
Renegade now shifting the ball towards the middle, looking for a pot shot at goal. Ball now getting back towards the middle here. We see a bit of a fumble between Matt and Dex, trying to communicate properly. Against what you said, actually, Simon. But we now see the ball perhaps moving out of Blue's half into Orange's with a very nice dribble. Christie picking up the ball, pushing it out into their corner. A defensive play working in their favor now, pushing the ball towards Blue's corner.
Blue missing that, and that's an open net. Open net missed by Christie. Matt somehow completely missing there. Let's see how this works out so far. So far it's 0-0, and this is a much closer game, and I'd say mechanically more consistent than the last game. Both teams are able to do what they need to do mechanically. Don't you think so, Hugo?
Yeah, so far we see some very flashy plays from Renegade. Matt here missing a big chance. He could have turned around and scored that.
I think that was Renegade's fault. He should have gone up with that aerial and been... That's going towards net, isn't it?
Dex doesn't do anything about
Dex
it.
doesn't do, and Renegade with a long shot. How did that go in? Look at this. Renegade's last touch was on the wall. That was a slow ball. And look at what Blue did. Dex bumped his own teammate, so Matt couldn't actually save it. That's a big mistake there. But I think that was just unlucky from Blue. I think they were both looking at the ball, and they couldn't see their teammate.
Lack of communication there, but we can see a comeback from Blue. It's only 1-0 with 3 minutes to go. Very early in the game. Renegade making the save, however, now with Orange pushing the ball towards the goal.
Matt now with a low boost. Luckily, the Orange team didn't manage to capitalize on Matt's lack of boost. Dex now being beaten in the corner. Can it gets it past Matt? Can Orange do something more with this? Pass up, but Matt manages to flick that nicely away past mid.
Blue now on the attack here. We see a bit of a fumble in the corner for Orange. Renegade pushing the ball out. Can we see a quick break? Oh, big mistake from Christie there. They could have been through on goal. Christie now pushing the ball back into Renegade. Renegade hitting it out, putting it out of danger.
Renegade with a nice flick there. But Matt manages to make that challenge work and actually gets the ball. So far this game, there's been a lot better clearing than last game. The clears have at least gone to mid, and they've been Christie demoing Dex there, and Matt managing to clear, but Renegade misses that. These clears, because of how powerful they are, if they beat both Christie there messing up his drift, and Dex being able to capitalize on that. Big mistake. 1-1 tied with 1:45 to go. This might go into overtime if nothing happens here. But back on my point, these clears, because of how fast they are, they can easily go over the last defender, meaning that we could see some break goals next game, or even this game if there is a goal to be scored still.
Scores are pretty even right now, with Blue shifting the ball to Orange now hitting the ball towards Blue's corner.
Blue now doing a nice little freestyle there. I don't think that actually helps, but looks pretty nice from Matt. With a defensive demo there, Christie not being able to pass to anyone because his teammate got demoed. Now, if we see this, IOV last game didn't pick out those big corner boosts that give you 100 nitro, meaning that basically they couldn't move as fast. But both Blue and Orange this game, both Matt, Dex, and the mates. Ooh. Dex with a goal there. Nice shot there. That was very, very nicely done there.
Dex with a second carrying
Christie
the game.
could have easily saved that though if he managed to get that flick into the corner. But we have to see, this is the sort of Rocket League that we should expect now to see. This is consistent gameplay where both teams can and will make shots if there's an open net.
Christie now pushing the ball towards Blue's corner, very slow, allowing Dex to hit the ball out. However, they both do fail, as well as Renegade, surprisingly. Renegade now shifting back to defend the corner.
Renegade, nice clear that, and this is what I was talking about with those really fast clears. If he managed to control that in that corner, he could have easily set up a shot on goal. Now, nice powerful shot pass there. Renegade being able to get that off the backboard.
Matt setting up perhaps a cross for Dex. Nope, Matt retrieving.
Renegade passing across the across goal, which is quite
Fast break, 5
Oh!
seconds.
Dex, they're being able to get a very clutch save there, and the ball
Ending.
hits the ground. Blue wins. Matt Dex 1.
Very tight game
Mates
there.
0.
Matt and Dex takes the first games in the series, with Dex getting the man of the match, 2 goals in 4 shots, giving 50% goals to shots to goals ratio. Matt trailing behind, however, giving them that save, which was very crucial, could have brought them to extra time. On the other hand, Renegade did put up a very impressive performance, 1 goal in 1 shot, 100 shot to goal ratio.
So we will be starting the next game. I'd like if we look at the stats, Matt didn't have a single shot, no goals, no assists, just 1 save. But that save was all the difference because of the fact that it was just a win by 1 goal. Renegade, they're also having 3 saves here. He came in very clutch for his team, but it wasn't enough to save them from the defeat.
We're now setting up for the second game in the series. Setting up for kickoff here. Another 5 minutes to go. Second game of the series. Dex and Matt both going up for the ball. Christy shifting it out towards the side. Renegade now taking that opportunity to drive down to Blue's goal.
Renegade with a quick goal there. Only 8 seconds in, and that's already a nice goal. Look at that he got that nicely up top of Matt.
Very impressive start there for Orange. Renegade getting a wonder goal from the corner. Starting back up again, Renegade getting the advantage there with the ball in Blue's corner. However, Matt does take it and pushes it against the wall. Stalling for time here. He waits for Christy to come out. However, he does push it towards the middle of the pitch. Renegade coming in
with a backboard shot. Christy, another backboard shot. They are getting so unlucky with these shots. Those could have been 2 easy goals, but I think that's not even about consistency. That's just getting unlucky shots there.
Very common today, right, Simon? We saw this in last series as well as in this series now.
Can Dex control this? Yes, he can. Equalizer by Blue with 4 minutes to go.
We see a replay here with Dex dribbling the ball towards the goal. Very, very skillful, actually. No one in goal, so that was, you could say, lucky, but that does eventually come down to skill. Dex now and Christy headbutting each other. Ball now in Blue's corner with Matt driving it out of danger.
Renegade with a nice clear shot, but that's just barely wide of the post. This is looking like a very close matchup. I'd like to remind you, if Matt Dex wins this game, they are through to the next round. But if they do win, well played by the mates. This has been some stellar gameplay.
I think it'd be a shame if the mates were to go out. I'd like to see more of Renegade's play. It's a very good play style, which is very exciting, actually.
He comes in very clutch on those saves. Last game he had 3 saves, with 1 goal. But those saves were saves that were very, very important for the team, because otherwise the team would have been trailing by.
Oh.
I think Matt saved the goal there.
What a
Very unlucky by the blue team.
big mistake. We see a mistake made in the last match as well as in this match. Very crucial, actually. Both missing out on goals. Renegade now pushing the ball towards the middle, with Dex getting in on behind and shifting it out of Blue's corner.
Dex has no boost there, which means that he can attack. Christy maybe going for the pinch. No, just tries to control it off the corner there. Both players miss now. Several misses there in a row, but Renegade manages to clear.
Bit of sloppy play, but we get the game back.
Matt manages to redirect that just wide of the goal, meaning that there was no goal. If there's a goal by any single team, this could be the end for the other team, at least for this game. Just seeing how close this game is.
Ooh.
Any shot at goal is a dangerous shot at goal. That reflects on how good the players are, but also reflects on how good the defenders are. Simply being able to save those or redirect them out from danger. Like, in Rocket League, half of the gameplay isn't about how many saves you have, but how many clears you have. being able to do good clears, to make good clears, is, I'd say, more important than being able to make saves. Because you can easily set up your opponent for a nice shot if you don't clear well.
Renegade now pushing the ball into Blue's half. We see Dex's view here as he tries to go and defend. However, Renegade with an aerial goal. Very impressive performance here. Putting them into the lead. Perhaps the final goal of this game.
If Matt and Dex don't do anything about this, this could be an equalizer on series at least for them. And I think in that case, if Orange does win this game, I think Blue would probably lose because Orange just simply would have momentum on their side, and what we know from physics, momentum is always conserved. Orange now being able to score another goal, Renegade coming in very, very important there for his team, getting that flick again on Dex. Like last game, he is managing to flick these players very nicely where they don't expect Renegade to be able to make those plays. I think at this point it is, unless Matt and Dex make some stellar comeback, this is a game for Orange, meaning that we will have to go to game 3.
A big shift in playstyle from Renegade, actually. Last game we didn't see much of his aerial prowess. This game seeing much more of it, actually. All of his goals coming from aerial shots. Can we see another one? Be very cool. Another goal, however, not an aerial shot. An easy tap in for Renegade, adding to his goal tally.
This is just a Renegade show at this point. Renegade, I think, at this point has a hat-trick. He's playing really well. Offensively, defensively, he's been stellar the whole game. He's been managing to make important 50-50s, save what he needs to, and being able to make some nice plays in offense.
You're right, Simon. He has a very big impact on this game. All four of Orange's goals coming from Renegade. Can we see a fifth one even? With a fumble there from the midfield, Renegade pushing the ball towards Blue's goal. A bit of a fumble in defense. Dex managing to clear. Can we see perhaps a consolation goal from Dex or Matt in the Blue team?
I'd like to point out that this performance by Renegade will nicely add to his tally of goals. He's third in points after both players from Iowa. Again, Renegade with another flick. What did I tell you? Renegade and his flicks. He is so good at this game. He is so good at being able to just do what he needs to do and take opponents out of the play. He is very well suited for winning this game. If they don't win this series, I think it'd be a big shame because I'd like to see him play in the next parts of the tournament.
5 goals now to his name, perhaps burying this game for Orange. 10 seconds to go now. Can we see perhaps a small comeback pushing the momentum towards Blue for their next series? Renegade now stalling time, pushing the ball around.
Renegade trying to air dribble, but I don't think that will help at all. Renegade and
the game ends with
winning.
Renegade being the man of the match, very well deserved, having 5 goals this game with 1 save, having very big output. Christie, on the other hand, having very low output. However,
that does not, however, mean that Christie wasn't playing well. He was playing incredibly well that game. If he didn't play well, then 5-1 would not have happened there. Simply saying.
5-2.
5-1. Dex and Mad, they need to step up their game if they wish to win the next game. They can easily win if they just manage to play well. But seeing as how momentum shifted, it's going to be hard for them to be able to do it.
As seen from this game, Renegade is a very exciting prospect. Actually, very different from many other competitors in this game. It would be amazing if we could see another player of Renegade's caliber. Now getting into the final game of this series.
Let's hope this comes down to overtime. You know how amazing of a game that would be. Renegade, his mechanical skills are just greatly overpowering what Matt and Dex can do. Matt and Dex can do. Matt and Dex are not bad players by any means, but simply I think Renegade is carrying Orange team, even though Christie isn't playing necessarily playing that badly.
With the momentum in Renegade's team, could we see perhaps another hat trick even from Renegade? However,
Let's not get our hopes up. That was a very nice clear. That I don't know if he meant to clear it like that, but strong clear. Mid, Christie can now try and make some plays.
Christie now stopping the momentum of the ball straight in the middle of the pitch, knocking off Matt from trying to do anything. Matt attempting at another hit towards goal. Renegade coming in with a very big clear. The ball now quite dead in Blue's corner. Back into the middle for Christie, failing to set up, but Renegade picking up the scraps as he gets his first goal of the game, 1 minute in.
This was very much unlike what he was last game, but still, there has to be consistency there for him to be able to score, and he is consistent. Is he not?
Back on the kickoff now, Matt driving the ball towards goal. Another goal per Renegade.
But Renegade with an aerial save. Renegade is so in form. Matt being able to get that tap in. 3:50 to go. Equalizer by Matt. This is going to be a close game. And let's hope it is, because this is, again, a close series. It's 1-1 to both teams. Game 3. Whoever wins this proceeds to the next round.
1-1 just like the scores. We're back on the kickoff now with Christie and Dex clashing in the middle. The ball in Orange's half here with Christie. No, Renegade picking up the ball. However, shifting towards the middle. Oh, Matt there having a big chance on goal with no one in net to defend. Dex clashing with Renegade now. Renegade on the break here, putting it into the middle.
And Renegade, both teammates missing there from Blue, but Renegade was under the ball, and I don't think he could have scored that anyways. And especially with not with the boost he had.
Very sloppy attack there from Renegade, unlike what we expect of him so far in this game.
Renegade, yet another flake. He dodges into those balls before his opponents can. That means he manages to just barely get it above them.
Renegade now on the corner, pushing the ball. Another chance made for himself. However, Dex getting there and shifting the ball out of danger. Renegade now actually pushing the ball back in. Christie getting on the end of it. Matt very fortunately knocking it out of danger. Back in the game, however, Dex does carry the ball onto Matt. Now pushing towards Orange's half made by Christie.
Christie passes it back. Some people might think that's a bad play, but I'd say that's a good play because he's passing this to his teammate that can then clear it. On the wall, Renegade controlling, but Christie bumps it out. Matt getting it off the wall. And can Christie score this? No, he can't, because Dex there coming out with a challenge.
Renegade here now, kicking the ball up pretty high, setting up for Christie and shifting backwards on defense. Sitting in goal, he's coming out to knock it away. Very good hit.
High boost, but he misses that. But he can pass that out to Christie, who can then pass it up again. They're just trying to get touches so the blue team can actually do this. This is what I'm talking about when I say retaining offensive pressure. Just not necessarily moving the ball towards goal, but just being able to make it so that blue can actually touch the ball. They can clear it efficiently.
Christie shifting the ball out for Matt to take a corner in. Whoa, can we see a solo goal? See a little bit of lag spike there, affecting the game a bit. However, Matt does get back onto the ball with it in Orange's corner. Renegade failing to clear it, but Christie coming in behind.
That
Matt.
was more of a setup, but nice shot there. Oh no, Matt missing that open net. Renegade maybe would have been there for the save, but Matt doesn't even manage to get that on net. Renegade clears it out onto the wall, and I don't think Dex is not going up for that. He manages to flick over Renegade, and Christie bumps with a pool shot there. Matt challenging that. It's now bouncing high in the orange corner.
Bit of a fumble here as Renegade does knock the ball away. We only have 40 seconds in the match. This game can go to overtime if Renegade or Matt and Dex do not score. And Christy.
Renegade now rushing back. 50-50 there.
Head-on collision. Matt open.
Ball, but Matt misses that. Is that going towards net? Oh my god! Renegade with a long shot. Being able to score that. That is sharpshooter accuracy there. I don't think I think he even just meant to clear the ball instead of shooting. But it worked out as a shot, and while they're winning 2-1, if they manage to not concede a goal, they are through to the next round. And I think they deserve it. Renegade especially has been playing so well, so consistently. Mechanical prowess, everything. He has it there. Now, can he... 0 boost, but can he maybe...
Renegade perhaps adding to his tally with 7 seconds to go. He puts the ball into the middle. Matt failing to get onto the end of it. Dex does clear it out. However, this does end the game with Renegade getting another goal, perhaps? No. The game now ends with Renegade, the man of the match for Orange's team. There's a bit of the goals here. Renegade getting 2 goals in the final game and 2 saves. Not as big of a tally as the last game was, but however, very impressive performance. We'll shortly get into an interview with Renegade, man of the match for both games that they've won. You now join us for a post-match interview with Renegade, man of the match for 2 of 3 games. Renegade, do you have any comments regarding your performance in the game you just played?
I have been playing for a while, so it was hard to play against them because I was really nervous. My hands were shaking, so.
Of course, you mentioned you've been playing for a while. How long exactly have you been playing?
3 years.
3 years, a veteran even. How long have you been able to pull off skills that we've seen in the game?
About my first year, I couldn't do anything, but like second year, I started doing aerial hits and stuff. I watched pro players play, and then I got,
Pro players like in RLCS?
Yeah.
Wow, very prestigious competition. Very high-ranked players go to play in that competition, actually. So, very good initiative to look into that to find out some skills. Do you have any advice for other players in the competition?
Try to not shake because it just makes you so nervous, and like it's really hard to play when you shake, and it's just much harder to play. And when you're playing a tournament like this, it's much harder to play because I'm just scared I was gonna lose and stuff like that.
Right, well, that is no longer a worry because you're through to the next round even. Thank you, Renegade. Very impressive performance you showed there. We look forward to having you for future games, actually. Do you have any concerns for your next game? Perhaps Do you think you will be able to carry on this performance?
Yes. I just need to practice more Rocket League. I haven't played in a while. It's my first game in a while.
I haven't played in a while. Well, you showed very good skill, actually. Thank you for your time, Renegade. Hope to see you later in the tournament, even. Before you go, how do you feel so far in this tournament? Like, how are you proud of yourself? Do you feel like you could have done something differently, perhaps in the previous round?
Yeah. I should have, done more arrow hits in the previous rounds. I didn't do much. So, yeah, that's basically.
Very quick change in playstyle. Very good change, actually. Aerial hits, we don't see that very rare playstyle in this tournament, unfortunately. Don't get too many flashy hits, but you provide very good display. Thank you. We have more material for the stream. Well, we're done. Thank you for your time, Renegade. We'll see you later. Thank you.
So now a little bit of background and analysis on the next game, Proximity versus Go Bananas. Hugo, do you want to start with Proximity?
Proximity's team consists of Top Hat Black and Vortex. Now, Top Hat Black has 3 goals, 2 assists, and 1 save. Very good tally this early.
From what we've seen, he is the more defensive of the 2 players in previous rounds. He has some good playmaking ability. But he just simply can't compare to the offensive prowess of Vortex, who has 9 goals and 1 assist. He's 3rd in points after both members of IOV, but the majority of the goals were scored from tap-ins or 50-50s, meaning that simply it might not be true reflective of this game. For the team stats, they've won both previous rounds with a sweep again against I'd say weaker opponents than them, quite clearly. They have good teamwork. They communicate quite well. And they're balanced mechanically, where both of them have the same level of mechanics. Maybe not when we look at the stats, but from what we've seen in their past rounds, they both play well.
Moving on to Go Bananas. This team consists of V7 and the Monster. Now, V7 has a very impressive tally: 7 goals, 3 assists, however, 0 saves. This shows he has very high offensive output. We could say the same about his teammate, the Monster. 8 goals and 1 assist. Also a very impressive tally this early into the tournament, actually.
So they play again. A quite common play style. They both play hybrid. They both attack. They both defend when needed. They're good mechanically, at least compared to their opponents, I'd say. They both play controller, which is interesting. I think they are natively PlayStation players. Let's see if their controllers actually translate to better mechanical skills. We have to see. They've also swept both rounds, but they are 7th seeded, while Proximity is 31st seeded, because they had statistics that just didn't show up. on the time when seating was available. Currently, we've seen that they are more capable than 31st seeded in the whole tournament. It seems like they are quite clearly better than the majority of the teams in the tournament.
Well, in terms of predictions, let's say a very sort of even matchup. They both have very good stats. I would like to tip Go Bananas in favor to win this series. You know, with them having a very good opening to the preliminaries, very high number of goals. They do have some errors mechanically and team communicating, but I'm sure as the tournament progresses, this will be solved. Some things to say on the other hand for proximity though. They also have a very good stat sheet so far. Vortex having the higher goal count, but Top Hat Black having a very well-rounded stat sheet. They have as well, similar to Go Bananas, have good teamwork between each other. You could say a bit better mechanically. They do have less impressive stats, but they had different opponents compared to Go Bananas. So, what do you think, Simon? Do you think proximity or Go Bananas will?
I think Go Bananas. They're better mechanically. They're better mechanically, and I think they just simply have more experience. They've played in some closer matches where, even though they've swept the entire series, they had to actually work for their goals. They are very good at maintaining offensive pressure. They just don't let their opponent touch the ball. And I really want to see what happens in this game, because simply I want to see how they do. It's going to be a very close game. I'd say that's for sure. But otherwise, everything should be fine from that point of view. We are waiting now, currently on proximity and Go Bananas to get into the lobby. Soon, I think it should be ready. And we are ready to start. And we are...
Everyone loading into the lobby now,
and
getting into their
the game is starting.
On the kickoff now, with Top Hat Black and V7 clashing in the middle. V7 getting the advantage as the ball is right in front of him.
V7 didn't manage to get boost at mid, meaning that he will be shorthanded in terms of speed for a while. But it should be fine. He's now clearing into their corner, which is a risky play. But it doesn't lead to anything dangerous. The monster playing the Roadhog there, that's quite an interesting card choice. It has quite a big hitbox, but a large turn radius to account for it, meaning that he might be a bit slower to turn towards the ball. But at this stage, I don't think that will affect them too much.
V7 setting up a chance for the monster, however, not getting close enough. Vortex able to clear. We're back into the middle, no one there, as they both went back to defend. Top Hat Black struggling to clear the ball out of their goal. The monster dashing in for an attempt at the corner, crossing into the middle for V7.
But can V7 get there? No, I don't know where V7 was, but probably he should have been there.
Failing to pick at his own scraps, the monster tries again at another corner, hit Vortex challenging him. Monster shifting the ball towards the other half of the pitch here.
V7 staying mid, making sure that they are trying to play a bit more conservatively here. They don't want to get scored on, because once you get scored on, momentum's against you, and you are more likely to be tilted making you easier to beat.
The
Vortex now, monster missing that ball and Vortex being able to managing to get that past him. Easy goal by Vortex there. That was a big mechanical mistake there by the monster. He should know better.
Correct.
Consistency's slightly out there. Maybe because he had to swap to an Xbox controller instead of his casual PS4 controller.
Big mistake from Monster there, giving Blue the first goal of this game. V7 now back on the counter, very good retaliation here. Oh! A goal for V7 brings the game into 1-1, back to a draw. So you can see here, good technique from V7, shifting the ball over Vortex as he moves out.
I think Vortex was rotated badly there where he was facing away from the ball, so he couldn't aerial to save it. That was still a pretty nice flick there by V7, making sure that even if Vortex was properly rotated, he would have a very hard time getting to it. But if you can see now, V7 is going for these really long rotations where he's rotating all the way towards their goal instead of challenging immediately to make sure that they really don't get scored on from breaks. Even though that was, I'd say, an overcommit, the last goal that they were scored on. See, that's an opportunity where it was...
V7 failing to clear the ball, actually.
Monster being able to make up for V7's miss. But generally, statistically, V7 is actually slightly better off like that because he is more in a better position there to receive any long balls.
Monster flicking up the ball for V7 towards... Monster now on the corner, failing. However, V7 manages to get a goal practically out of nothing there. With Monster failing, V7 can be seen perhaps as a hero, even the man of the match for this entire series.
So far, at least, it's 2 minutes, 15 to go, and Go Bananas is winning by 1 goal. This is still anybody's game. A Monster missing these important flips there. He's flipping to the side instead of in front. But he is managing to get important boost, which is very important, at least in this game. If you don't have boost, you can make important saves. V7, they're faking out, and Monster being able to score the goal. Now they are winning by 2, and unless they concede 2 in 2 minutes, I think Go Bananas will win this game. But still, Rocket League 2v2, anyone can win if there are 2 unlucky bounces for Go Bananas.
Monster now on the corner, pushing the ball towards the middle for V7. V7 not there. Vortex and Monster there clashing, stopping Monster to get back on the defense. Just breaking there. V7 now on the attack.
He can maybe try and get a flip there. Trying to go for the 50-50 there, but not being able to do it. Monster with a high power shot. And he managed to put that in, winning by 3. This should be an easy victory. Now they just don't need to. They just need to be solid consistently, and they can't afford to make any stupid mistakes. If they do that, they should be. They're on route to win this game.
Unorthodox card choice set by Simon. However, providing for very neat goals actually. Vortex now attempting to. Oh my God! Monster getting his hat trick.
Yet another goal by Monster. This is just simply Monster being where he's meant to be, getting those challenges in when he needs them to be there, and if this was proximity, V7 would have been there, getting that boost. This is why V7 and Go Bananas plays like this. Their last defender likes to stay a bit more back than for other teams because they just simply know that these challenges sometimes can be a bit random, and they do mean that it is very, very easy for them to get scored on if there's a bad touch.
The ball out in Blue's corner, as we can see, Vortex attempting to shift the ball towards the middle to create a chance. Monster getting on the end of that, putting it back in the middle, however, in Blue's corner. Taking a shot here, it shifts towards the other end, the other side of the pitch. V7 getting on the end of that and pushing it towards the middle. However, Vortex now on the ball, attempting a clear. V7 there with a very good redirect, putting him back on the attack. V7 now on goal. Vortex making a very good clear.
Vortex now trying to pass up the wall. If they can score 4 goals in these 20 seconds, I'm going to be very surprised. Now at this point, this is just about trying to get momentum on their side for the next game. Now, Vortex half flipping there, trying to get a good recovery, and it pays off. Even though he didn't get the ball, he at least was imposing on V7, so he didn't see it as he saw Vortex as a threat, so he didn't try and challenge that to make sure that he wasn't out of position.
1 second to go now. As soon as the ball touches the ground, the game ends. Monster here, getting the man of the match. Surprising. I thought V7 would have gotten it. He had a very impressive performance.
Can we just talk about V7's positioning? I think Go Bananas, rotation-wise, is playing incredibly well. V7 is just rotating back so well. He's back there where he needs to be. If there's a bad touch, he can easily get it. I think he's slightly more mechanically skilled than Monster, but meaning that he's slightly more consistent. But there just simply is more ability for him to make up for the Monster's mistakes if he makes them, or if there's a bad 50-50. There is some worry for me for proximity. I don't think they'll be able to get back from this, just simply judging by the fact that they aren't able to keep up what is happening.
Then again, could we see another performance like Renegades? With his first game of the series not shining as brightly, but the second game coming in clutch, scoring many important goals. But so far, Blue have the momentum now. Orange going into the next game with very low morale, actually.
We are now into the next game, second game of Go Bananas versus Proximity. We'd like to remind you, Proximity is blue, Go Bananas is orange.
Starting off the kickoff, V7 defending the ball, circling around it, making sure Vortex actually gets there. Not according to his plan. V7 strikes the ball up the pitch. Monster on the wing, waiting for the ball to settle down so he can cross it towards V7. V7 actually getting back. There's a lot of communication there, perhaps a lot of trust between V7 and Monster, that he trusts Monster to make his own goals.
And V7 just getting that tap in, nice pass there from Monster, nicely across goal. What Hugo said, I think they play very often together, meaning that they just know where they are going to be. If, for example, if V7, I don't think he could be able to fit into most teams, because unless he played with his teammate more or very often. Because he just simply has a very defensive attitude where he stays back and waits for what happens, which for most people, they would expect him to at least push up slightly and be able to get those important shots or 50-50s in offense. However, in Go Bananas, that is Monster's job. V7 with yet another goal. V7 is dominating this game. 2 shots, 2 goals in under 50 seconds.
See right there, very good shot, very safe shot actually, nestling it down with the bottom of his car. Showing a softer shot here. Back on the kickoff, Top Hat Black gets the advantage. However, Monster does defend it and pushes it back.
That is an example of good cheating, where you do not push up directly behind your teammate. You let them have their space, but then come in when necessary. And it yields fruit. 3-0 in under a minute. How is Go Bananas doing this? I don't think Proximity can come back. Momentum is so heavily stacked against them. It would be incredibly hard for them to, even at this point, get 2 goals, maybe, even 1.
With morale even lower now for Blue Team, we get back on the kickoff here with V7 picking up Blue Team's boost and running straight back. Monster on the defense, however, Top Hat, effect on the morale perhaps, failing to get that cross in. Top Hat now jockeying in the middle. Oh, we see a cross towards goal, and he fails to defend it. V7 getting a long shot goal there.
Vortex, I'd say that's just simply unlucky. Maybe Top Hat Black could have saved that if he was better rotated.
Perhaps unprepared.
Unprepared. I don't think he was expecting that. I think he was going for boost before, but then when his teammate told him to look back, I think he wasn't prepared to actually save that. That's why you always have ball cam on, don't you say, Hugo?
Correct. Many competitors in this tournament don't use ball cam.
At least not frequently, and they switch off for extended periods of time when they're going for boost. Now, the Monster trying to make a nice little spin there. Ball cam, for those who don't know, is the camera angle when the competitors can see are always facing the ball. Monster now with a goal, 3 minutes to go. This is single-handedly a game for Go Bananas. I don't. Proximity isn't getting back from this.
Now, rushing towards goal, V7 gets another goal to his name. You see here a replay. The monster actually coming in and pushing V7 to eventually get that goal. Very good and lucky communication, actually. Back on the kickoff again here with there. And oh, we see a bit of a fumble there. Monster does bring it back in onto the Blues corner. Pushing it towards
So now we can see. So now we can see that Go Bananas was winning by 9 with a minute to go. This is just for Go Bananas. This is just for fun. There's nothing Proximity can do. This is just. Go Bananas is on another level to Proximity. This is.
this perhaps is the final game of this series.
Not perhaps. This is certainly the last game of the series.
Who knows, Simon? 10 goals in 40 seconds. That is certainly possible.
Possible. A goal every 4 seconds. Those would have to be very awkward shots from the kickoff, and that's not happening every single time.
Back on the kickoff again here with 40 seconds to go. 10-0 Orange have up against Blue. Monster now hitting the ball towards goal. With low morale, I don't think Blue are very...
At this point, this is not even about morale. This is just Go
This
Bananas.
is bullying.
This is bullying, I'd say. This is just simply Orange dominating. Offensive pressure is something that Orange is very good at retaining, as I said in the pregame. And Monster with an 11th goal.
Another
What
hat
is
trick.
happening here?
Another hat trick to his name, actually. Back on hopefully the final kickoff now. I'm pretty sure the point's been made. Orange have won this game by a long shot. 9 seconds to go now. 3, 2, 1. As soon as the ball touches the ground,
It is
done.
over, and Go Bananas wins.
Very, very big goal tally there for Orange.
Envy versus
Ending the game, V7 getting the man of the match with 8 goals, 2 assists, and 11 shots. Impressive 12,000 points to his name. On the other side of the game, however, Vortex does put up a challenge, 190 points, very low. However, he has made a save and attempted at goal. Top Hat Black not having as much of a contribution, but valiant effort nevertheless. The Monster, actually, I forgot to mention, also had very good goal tally. 3 goals, 2 assists, 1 save, very good defensive output, and 7 shots. Not getting him the man of the match, however, as V7 stole the limelight. Now, with that series over,
we are going to go into a post-game interview with one of the Go Bananas players.
you now join us for a post-match interview with V7, man of the match for both games. V7, do you have any comments regarding your performance in the series?
I think we played really well. And yeah, I think we played really well. My teammate Bill, or also known as the Monster, also played really well. We passed the ball to each other a lot, which resulted in in crosses going towards goal, which gave us a lot of goals.
Do you have any comments on your teammate more specifically?
Yeah, Bill had to play with an Xbox controller today, but still played very well. As I said, we aimed on trying to curve the ball across in front of goal, and that's what we did for a lot. We won a lot of kickoffs as well, which was quite lucky.
In this series, we saw you thrashing the opponent. Are you worried about any future games in the tournament? Do you think you're gonna make it to the finals?
I think, well, I hope we will win the finals, or maybe the whole tournament, but depends on our next opponent.
Very confident statement there of V7. Do you have any advice for other competitors? How to be as good as you?
I think in doubles especially, the main thing you want to do is cross the ball. As long as you cross the ball, it's really easy for the teammate who crosses the ball to get back as well. So it doesn't always result in too many goals from the opposing team.
A small question on your background. How long have you been playing Rocket League?
I've played for I don't know the exact amount of hours, but I think around 50 hours.
50 hours for how many years?
I've played for like a year, and I always play against probably my brothers or with Bill. I don't play a lot of singles.
Well, that's fine. You do very well in ranks, probably. Well, thank you for your time, V7. Congratulations on your win, by the way. We'll see you in later games in the tournaments. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
So, we're now going to do a bit of analysis on Envy versus Battling Donkeys. Both Envy and Battling Donkeys have swept both of their series. But let's start talking individually about Envy. You go.
Let's delve into Envy's stats a little here. Their team consists of Jung Wook and Julius. Jung Wook here having 6 goals, 2 assists, but 0 saves. Very good offensive output. Julius having 7 goals and 1 assist. Also very good offensive output. Simon, do you have any comments regarding their performance?
They are coming into the tournament second seeded. They've won both of their previous games. I'd say they're very likely to win the game. They're good mechanically. They play well generally. Everything's good with them. They are, I'd say, in the tournament. Even what we've seen, I think they're best mechanical. They play best. Their mechanics are on point. And I think they won't be too much of a challenge I think that Battling Donkeys won't be too much of a challenge for them. Okay, Hugo, what about Battling Donkeys?
Battling Donkeys team consists of Mosey and Victor BD, both sharing 4 goals between them. Very, very admirable stat this early in the tournament. We see good, very good communication between them. Very good partners, especially in build-up play, resulting in goals, of course.
They're both equal on points. Even though in statistics that Hugo has read, they both have 0 assists. That does not mean they do not link up. It's just the game has not recorded them as assists because of the fact that they were the last players to get a touch on the ball. They play quite well. Mechanically, they're, I'd say, worse than Envy, but they play well enough. They play well enough to be able to, I think, at least pose a threat to Envy. They're gonna keep Envy on their toes. Envy can't be too complacent. They can't think they've already won it. If they do, I think Envy can lose if they get complacent, but generally speaking, I think Envy's gonna win. They're better mechanically, better rotation. Mentally, I think they're better. They don't get as tilted. What about you, Hugo?
Well, as you're going with Envies, I'm going to go with statistically the underdogs here, Battling Donkeys. I want to see more from them, especially in this game. They have pretty balanced stats, however, be pretty exciting to see if they can pull, as you say, an upset, as, you know, Envy are the stronger team going into this match.
Do you think, well, you say Battling Donkeys, do you think they're going to win 2-1 or 2-0?
That's a very hard question, Simon. For the sake of the tournament, I'd like to see a 2-1.
Overtime or no overtime in game 3?
Overtime, of course. Overtime for an hour. That would be massive.
That would be massively nerve-wracking though for me, and I do not want to do that because I'm a big fan of Envy. They're playing really well, and it'd be a shame to see them lose. We might be getting into the next game soon. There just has to be a few things ready to set up. Soon we are going to be getting into our last game. Every single player is in their respective games and we are ready to go.
Starting off the game here, the final series today, Julius and Mozzie clashing on head. Victor BD getting ready for perhaps a clear. Mozzie running around the ball quite directionally.
Mozzie there.
Julius with a strike at goal. Mozzie tracking there to hit it up.
Mozzie's not using his boost. Is he either conserving it for something, or is he just plainly ignoring the fact that he has boost and not using it?
Could be considered a smart play.
In some circumstances, but I think generally you want to use the boost that you have. Now, Julius EV managing to get that clear. I told you, Envy very good mechanically. Julius getting that pass in front of goal. Can he make it? No, he can. Where was Jungwook? Now, another pass in front of goal. This time, Mossy doesn't manage to clear it. And there's a 50-50 in the corner. Goes out, but Julius can get this back. Goes over Victor. Julius, not Mossy there, just barely making that save.
Jungwook EV here, we have his perspective, going back to defend the ball, missing it entirely. Mozzie having the chance now to take a shot at goal, failing. Julius now setting up for a ball, perhaps a long shot, with Victor getting on the end of it. Jungwook now, perhaps. Oh, Julius
playing it up onto the backboard. Jungwook maybe read it, but no, he was too under the ball. Still, Julius getting it under Mozzie, and that is a nice goal for Envy.
Julius.
First goal of many, hopefully. I don't care which team. I just want to see good Rocket League this time.
Julius sliding the ball under both people. Starting off again at the kickoff. 3:26, 1-0 for Blue. Victor and Jungwook getting the kickoff on the go. Mozzie now watching the ball, watching its movement as Jungwook drives towards the ball.
Julius getting this on the back passing, but Mozzie being able to put it out again. These are some pretty weak clears out by Orange. I'd like to see them maybe go for more powerful clears, because they just aren't able to get good manage to actually clear the ball and retain possession.
Jungwook now striking the ball towards the middle, perhaps setting up for Julius. However, he's nowhere to be seen. Oh! Back in the game now. Julius keeping the ball in Orange's half, setting himself up for a goal.
And what nice pre-jump. He exactly predicted what Mozzie was going to do, and that was very well played, I guess. That was just him knowing what his opponent would do. It's 2-0 to Envy.
Strike at the floor there. Very good technique getting under Mozzie.
I think this is a bit closer than I actually expected. Yeah. Slightly more closer than I expected. I would expect Envy to be winning by a few goals this time. Julius trying to get an air roll shot there, but I don't think that works.
Julius showing a very
wide range of skill sets when it comes to aerialing.
Very good aerial prowess. Sort of similar to the style of Renegade's play, actually. Very good performance there.
Julius EV with his hat-trick. With a hat-trick, his third goal this match in 3 minutes, I'd say. And all of them were not necessarily as flashy as Renegades. They were all solid. And they were mainly all deserved. They weren't just random shots from kickoff.
Get back on the kickoff here. Julius getting the whole touch. No collateral damage. Julius there pushing the ball towards the other side of the pitch. Mozzie striking the ball towards the middle. Jungwook perhaps taking this chance to set up, strike a goal. Julius there,
setting this up, maybe going for an air dribble, not successful, but that was still really nice attempt. Seeing that he's this confident with only, I'd say, 3 goals at this point. This isn't only because there is still a chance that Orange could come back, but unlikely. I'm just saying unlikely. It's unlikely because Orange just isn't able to actually get out of their own half. Blue is just, Envy is just completely dominating them.
Ball now in Orange's corner as Mozzie strikes it up towards his own goal. Julius there poaching the goal from Mozzie.
Again, not necessarily the flashiest of goals, but it was well deserved. He placed that quite well, and he managed to get it past Victor.
Setting back up now for the kickoff again. 1 minute to go. Blue are 4-0 up. Very high tally. Perhaps running away with this win. Jungwook on the corner, getting pushed around by Mozzie as he drops the ball for Victor. Running upfield now. They're having a bit of
a bump match. Bump cars.
Bumper cars. Jungwook tailing the ball as Julius dashes in. Grabs
with a demo, and that's yet another goal for Julius.
Very big smog there.
Julius, I think, at this point has how many? 5 goals? All of these goals were Julius's. Jungwook, as much as he's helping the play, he's not as offensively capable, or at least not as offensively aggressive this game. I think he's just trying to see this game out and make sure that they don't lose it, so they have they have one game down, and then they can sort of try and feel the waters out next game to see, like, just try and go for nice plays, etc.
Julius now striking the ball at the roof, attempting for an aerial shot. Pushing the ball towards the corner now. He has no boost, however. Still very courageous, striking the ball. Mozzie there, missing
the open net.
Could
I'd like to explain how these wall dribbles work that Julius is trying to go for. In Rocket League, you can jump several times and boost. If you jump off the wall, you're tilted at an angle, but you can rotate your car so it's parallel to the ground, and then you can fly around the ball and try and hit it towards their net. Sometimes even several times in a row.
And that ends the first game there with Envy getting the win. Julius being the man of the match this game. Having 5 goals to his name with a score of 735.
5 goals out of 6 shots, that's quite a high ratio. Jungwook with 2 assists and 0 shots. This was, I think, Julius's game again. I want to see how whether they can come back or not.
We look on the other side of the game here. Mozzie having a good score, producing 1 save registered, having a score of 140 exactly. Victor having lower output with 40 score and no registered stat-wise. A very one-sided game, you could say. 5-0 towards the blue team. Could we see a change in momentum or tide favoring Bowling Donkeys?
At this point, I think Victor and Mozzie need to seriously change up their playstyle if they want to win the next game. Just what they're playing currently isn't working for them, and they need a change.
Going into the second game of the series now, if Envy win this game, they win the series and move on to the next game. Jungwook here attempting at a goal strike, failing. Victor and Mozzie having some link-up play. Julius there, stealing the ball from their hands. Jungwook right in front of goal, failing. However, Julius back at it again, striking the ball into the net. Easy tap-in.
I think that was actually Jungwook's miss. He shouldn't have gone for that, but Mozzie could have easily saved that. Mechanically, I think Battling Donkeys just aren't up to the task. I don't think they can simply make the saves that are necessary, etc.
Back on the kickoff, Julius and Mozzie clash it out in the middle. Bit of struggle, however, Victor attempts at a clear, failing. Striking it towards his own goal. Julius there attempting to steal the ball once again. Jungwook failing at the strike. Mozzie
hitting it into the corner, and Julius trying to recover there. Julius might now try and make it a dribble. Jungwook shadowing his own teammate. I don't know why though.
Jungwook there, stalking the ball, waiting for a good position. Julius there with another goal.
50 seconds into the game again. Julius is just dominating this game. I don't know what Julius is doing, but it's working really well. I think he has a very similar playstyle to Renegade from the mates. The mates won quite nicely. They just simply mechanically are really good. But Jungwook missing that kickoff. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but the ball's now in the orange half, and I don't think Mozzie will be able to hit it out. Mozzie being able to get it high, but Julius missing that. Can Mozzie or Victor capitalize? No, they can't.
Bouncing the ball there. Jungwook gets on the end of the ball. Mozzie stopping it right in front of goal. Jung Wook had a chance there. Mozzie now driving the ball up the pitch. Julius waiting. I think they're winning that 50-50, but not too much in his favor there. As
Julius seems to be overflying these aerials. I think he expects the ball to go up higher than he actually does, and that if he would be playing against a higher opponent, which he probably will do in the next round if they go through, which is very likely, they will just simply those mistakes could cost him if they play against a better opponent, which in this case would be Go Bananas, who completely stampeded over proximity last series. Now Julius with a dribble off the post and Jungwook not being able to do that. I think this is just for show at this point. This is quite clear that Envy's going to win this game.
2-0 Simon, not big of a difference between goals. Victor there. Jungwook, Julius getting on the end of the ball, quite dead for a while. Julius again, having a hit side ball.
Julius again overflying that aerial. If this was a team that was slightly more advanced mechanically, they could be able to just hit these clears and be able to maybe get some free goals. Julius needs to sort this out next game if he wants to win.
Mozzie striking towards Blue's corner as he attempts at the goal. Julius there getting on the end of it and clearing out the danger.
Victor now maybe trying to go for that, but he didn't aerial in time, meaning that he couldn't get to the ball. Mozzie now fumbling over the ball. It's into the
Julius there with a good clear. Very, very good dribbling.
Both blue teammates on the back wall, but they managed to control that. Julius with a nice flick over his opponent, and he now manages to put that in goal from a very tight angle. That was a nice shot there. Again, Julius scoring all 3 goals this match. Julius is a powerhouse to be reckoned with.
Back on the kickoff, 1:48 left, 3-0 to Blue. Can we see perhaps a change in momentum, or with Envy walking out of this series with a clean sweep? Julius there striking the ball away from danger. Jung Wook setting up for a challenge against Mozzie. Has a bit of a mix-up there, however, putting Mozzie in a dangerous spot where he can't defend. Julius back again on the ball, setting up for his own goal. A very flashy hit.
That was a very nice goal off the back wall. Let's just watch this in slow-mo. He went up for that and he twisted around his own axis so many times before actually hitting that in. That was the slightest of touches, but it made all the difference because otherwise that wouldn't have gone into the net.
Back on the kickoff again. Mozzie having a bit of a weird flip there, or fumble. Maybe a fake kickoff, actually.
For those who don't know, a fake kickoff is where the person closest to the ball tries to fake out the other opponent by trying to pretend they're going for the ball and then not going for it at the last second, meaning that the ball goes straight to their teammate. Julius with yet another goal. This is a Julius show. 5-0, all goals coming from Julius. How many shots he has, we don't know, but I think he scores the majority of the shots he has on goal. He is so prolific, and his mechanical prowess is just so visible, especially against a weaker opponent like Battling Donkeys.
Back on the kickoff, 5-0 to Blue, 1 minute remaining. Can we see perhaps change in momentum again for Orange, or, well, the game will end with Envy winning?
Hugo, sorry to break your heart, but Battling Donkeys isn't winning, contrary to what you said in pregame.
Well,
the momentum isn't going to shift. I don't see Orange even being able to get any good chances there because they just simply don't have the ability to clear it very well out of their own. And Jung Wook with his first goal this game. He has had 1 assist. That was a very nice touch there. Julius managing to get that over Victor and bumping Victor out of the save.
A bit of a steal from Julius there, taking the limelight with a goal. 6-0 to Blue, 30 seconds left. I'm pretty sure we know the end result of this game here, with Blue walking out with a victory. Jung Wook there, knocking the ball towards the middle. Jung Wook setting himself for another goal. 2 goals under his name now, added to his tally. In 20 seconds. since kickoff.
18 seconds to go. This is just maybe Envy trying to get a few more goals under their belt. I don't think nothing is gonna change. This is an Envy game.
Clear
Both
decimation.
games have been easily won by Envy. Maybe can we see another flashy goal by Julius? Yes, we can,
Ooh.
of course. He's just rotating around his own axis with the car, and he's so mechanically skilled that he can rely on himself to score these. He's playing incredibly well today. Just like Renegade. We have 2-star performers from this competition so far. That's Renegade and Julius. Maybe we could consider V7 up there, but that, I think Proximity was just such a weak opponent. Well, alongside this, that it was simply just bound to happen. If we look at the stats, we can see that this was a Julius show. 6 goals out of 7 shots. For Jungwook, it's 2 out of 2. Victor only getting 1 shot. That's it. They didn't even manage to get a single save. We're gonna have to cut out now. There will be no post-game interview or post-game analysis of today because of time constraints. But please join us tomorrow for the quarterfinal, for the semifinal matches, which are going to be IOV versus the Mates and Go Bananas versus Envy, which will then go into the third place match and then the final. See you tomorrow.